Let's talk about the team that they pipped to the post, or rather got their buddies, Mumbai, to pip to the post to get that fourth qualifying spot. Talking about the Delhi team. Jeez, man, there's a movie in there with the plot twist, yeah? With what has happened to Delhi.
There's a movie. There's also an Enid Blyton novel. You remember those Enid Blyton that you used to read, mysteries and all that? So there was one called...
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Gaurav?
Enid Blyton is me. That's me. Famous wife.
Okay.
It was called The Mystery of the Missing Captain. Okay.
Oh.
And I think that's a bit of what happened to Delhi this year.
Yeah. Could be, perhaps, yes. That's right. He has had a season he would like to forget in terms of a few performances, a few decisions, on-field and off-field kind of decisions. And the fact that it just kept saying that the captaincy was perhaps weighing so heavily on his shoulders that he just lost his shape as a batter. Literally lost his shape as a batter, Harsha.
Yeah. I mean, he scored at 31 at a strike rate of 151, 152. Someone coming at 4-5 gives you that. Most days you're very, very happy. I think, and listen, I don't know if what I'm saying is right or wrong, but I think Rishabh Pant so badly wants to be captain. I think he so badly wants to be a very good captain that I suspect it's weighing him down. I saw the body language in that game against MI from the captain, and I think he should also know that in every game there's a captain cam. There's a camera that's always on the captain. And he was looking... It didn't look great. He didn't look like he was in control. And Ricky Ponting was Aussie, right? He'll come and talk like an Aussie. He said some of the tactical decisions at the end were not great, but Rishabh should still be captain. But I think we've discovered that Rishabh is a captain who's work in progress. He might still make a very good captain, but you've got to ask if Rishabh the captain comes along with Rishabh the batsman, who's a generational player. Rishabh the batsman is a fabulous, rare player. And now you've got to just measure off and ask Rishabh, can you just chill a little bit as a captain and keep doing that? Don't get burdened. I saw him sometimes at post-match and one day he said, yaar, gayi na. That kind at the end of the post-match.
Yeah.
You cannot, So we've got to ask ourselves, in searching for Rishabh Pant, the captain, we should not end up losing a phenomenal player.
Yeah, Joe, it's such a good point, because sometimes you can want something so hard that you clutch it enough to just kind of suck the joy out of it.
Yeah, and look, again,
suck the joy out of suck the joy!
There you go. I was hoping somebody would pick that up.
40 runs at 150, but what's his highest score? His highest score is 44.
So impact again, he's not won. I think he's not won a player of the match since 2019.
So 44.
Since 2019.
Yeah, so that's my one point, that he's still a terrific player, but is he batting in the wrong position? Is he scoring that 70, 80, 90 that changes a game? Because now Rishabh Pant with this current Delhi batting order needs to do that. Previously they had other batsmen. There was a Shreyas Iyer out there as well. There were other players that there. Now the responsibility is squarely on his shoulders. If he's going to go and bat at 4, he has got to do it for them. And that's what I'm saying. A year where Riyan Parag has a higher single score than Rishabh Pant is a year that you want to forget if you're Rishabh Pant, even if you've scored 340 runs.
But that RP, the other RP you're talking about, is actually got the safest pair of hands that you can see amongst Indian fielders. He really does.
Best moves after taking it. And the best moves after taking the catch.
I enjoy it. Yes, I enjoy it completely.
You just got to be a little careful.
Rishabh will rue the fact that there was a dropped catch that he had as well, and there was a catch he made that they didn't review. So there was just all things that went wrong. I think that last kind of game was perhaps a little snapshot, if you just a summary of kind of what happened to Delhi, because it's so frustrating, Harsha. You look at that team, there's match winner after match winner in that team.
Terrific team.
Yet they're not winning the matches.
You look at what happened to Delhi this year. David Warner came late, but when they bought him, they knew he was going to come late. So you can't say, oh my God, he came late. David Warner came late, Mitch Marsh came late, got injured, came back, got COVID, came back. So we never saw the best of Mitch Marsh. So that happened. Then there was a little COVID scare in between. There was an injury scare in between. Heinrich Nokia is their big retained match winner. He only came in after 8 or 9 games. So that game was it was a very unsettled side. It was almost as if you've come for dinner and you don't know who's going to be at the table. Mere dost rehne wale hain ya koi aur, someone else come back. And I think they never really settled down as a side, because any team that has a batting lineup of David Warner, Prithvi Shaw, Mitch Marsh, Rishabh Pant, Rovman Powell. I also think they went too far with Lalit Yadav. Lalit Yadav was a 150, 160 strike rate domestic player, scoring at 103, 104. They thought he was a bit of everything, but he was not enough of anything. But now that Mitch Marsh was bowling, they came with Sarfaraz at the end, which was probably the best side that they should have played. But they look back and say, if we had everybody playing together, could it have been different? Maybe. But that is how this IPL is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's right. You've got to.
Also one more thing. They've got very subpar seasons from two of the players that they really needed. Three, actually. If you look at it, Nokia, Akshar Patel. Akshar Patel normally is a banker every year. He just comes and gives you. Akshar Patel has given you 6 wickets. And that's something that they are not used to. Akshar Patel comes and knocks them over. Akshar Patel gives you an economy rate that you always is outstanding. Akshar Patel hasn't given you anything. Nokia was injured. Then what happened? We don't know. He never got his rhythm. He never looked the bowler that got 22 wickets. And then the third whammy is Shardul was inconsistent. So while he's done well in 1 or 2 matches, he really hasn't given you that consistent sort of lower order batsman, all-rounder, bowling all-rounder, batting at 7, giving you some overs. He's not given that to you. So those 3 guys, if they fire, Rishabh Pant has a decent season. So if you're the Delhi Capitals and you look at it, you actually can turn around and say, what do you need to change in next season? Nothing. Get everybody healthy, get everybody on time.
Just let the captain be lighter. That's it. Just let him be lighter. Tell him not to worry too much. And the last point on Delhi, which deserves talking about, just like Rajasthan took the wounded bird Chahal, his partner in Kulcha was taken by Delhi, and the wounded bird was kind of given wings, right?
And 21 is fantastic. I mean, he had 2 or 3 off days with a wrist spinner. If you have 2 or 3 off days, you're absolutely fine with it. Then that's why the economy went up to 8.4, because when he had a bad day, he traveled for a lot of runs. But the Kuldeep that I saw bowling in this year's IPL is the best I have seen for a very, very long time, because he had got the bite back into his bowling. Actually, to be fair, the bite was never there. He used to beat people in the air, and because they couldn't pick the wrong one and the one that was coming in, now I think he's become stronger. And we talked ad infinitum about his speed going up from an average of 78, 79 to an average of 83, 84, 85. And he's got the strength to be able to bowl 84, 85. He's a different bowler at 84, 85. So, the rebirth of Kuldeep, and the fact that David Warner, when he's 55 years old, will still come and give you 500 runs.